where horror lies.
Robb from Georgia here with you, aka VHS82 apostrophe. I'm your regular Wednesday evening host here at BodyBags. It is week 490. It is a random week, and I decided to run with, well, you can see it back there. You see the title, Hobo with a Shotgun. A little love letter from Jason Eisner, Canadian filmmaker. A little love letter to the era we refer to, of course, as grindhouse cinema. You know, the type of love letter that people like Robert Rodriguez, Tarantino, Rob Zombie, the world of fake trailers, that grindhouse, real and fake trailers, which, by the way, Eli Roth is making Thanksgiving now. I don't know if you heard that news break, but this is probably the one that's been most under the radar in terms of these movies. Came out in 2011, and just seems nuts to think that this movie has been out that long and you rarely ever hear anyone talk about this movie, and that is a shame. What a performance from Rutger Hauer, man. He absolutely nails it with his portrayal as this hobo, who we quickly are with at the very beginning, who's on a train, hobo style. And he is just trying to find a place to settle down. He's tired of being a drifter. He's tired of this life, and he wants to figure something out. He wants to work. He wants to start a business, and in this case, a lawnmower business, cutting yards for people, right? And so his unfortunate dilemma is he gets off the train in the wrong stinking town. The sign, it's supposed to be Hope Town. It's been changed to Scum Town, I think. And this place, man, this place, it is the pure definition of just absolute corruption from top down. Yeah, top down. You got the bad, police department. You've got a crime lord in the Drake. You've got his two sons that can't wait to fill his shoes. You got Abby, who is a prostitute, but with a heart of gold. Her and Rutger Hauer's character, Hobo, they will due to each intervening and pulling the other out of a bad situation, they will both really create an intriguing, interesting, quite a beautiful relationship, actually. There is a lot going on in this movie. It is, I mean, with a movie named this, and with, of course, if you've seen the trailer, even the fake trailer for the initial concept idea, you've just seen the artwork, there is a lot more meat to this movie than meets the eye, man. And I was really shocked. Just the subtle underneath messaging and things that were going on. And this movie really does try to speak to you on a lot of levels. But as I said, man, he picks the wrong town, man. But maybe not. Maybe this has been his sole purpose in life, and it's everything in his life has been leading up to this one moment. And that is attemptably to change the course, the destiny, the fate of this poor community that is just overridden in crime to the point it is nasty, it's grimy, it is sick, it's just waiting for someone to snap and take the law into their own hands and bring some old-fashioned justice. And I'm telling you, man, they serve up a platter of the worst of the worst. Now, one thing this movie doesn't do is, and I was really kind of surprised actually, was serve over-the-top exploitation in terms of nudity and other stuff like that. This is now bonkers crazy in terms of violence, mostly practical, over the top, and at times, man, there are things that happen, be it on screen in front of you or suggestively, you know what's gonna happen. It is sick, man, and it churns your stomach, or at least it ought to. And even when justice is being served, say on Santa, we find out this guy, man, is a pedophile. He patrols dressed up as a Santa Claus, looking for kids to abduct. It is, I mean, there are just some stomach churning moments. Sometimes they will just lead you up and drop the Molotov cocktail in, so to speak, referring to a scene with a homeless woman and her child who are living in a dumpster. And when the hobo snaps, now, like I say, he wants to start a business. He's trying to get money. He ends up lowering himself to some pretty low levels in order to get quick cash, to get a lawnmower that's just like $49.99 or something. The guy who is, he's a filmmaker, call him that, but he basically pits hobos against one another for, exploitation reasons. And so Hobo will eventually go to him and do some things for him, like crunch on glass and stuff. But he'll get the money, man. He'll get the money. He'll go to get his lawnmower. And unfortunately at that moment, or maybe fortunately for the town, it is about, a robbery is about to ensue, and it's a very violent one. And he's caught, man. He's caught in that moment of lawnmower, shotgun on the shelf, lawnmower. It's almost like Vader, man, in Return of the Jedi, man. You could just get that moment, man, where he is just like contemplating two extremely heavy things, and he can't take it, man. He just, and you buy it completely. He just snaps, grabs a shotgun off, man. He wastes these people who are trying to rob this place. He just wastes them, man. And then he pays for the shotgun. Of course, this guy's, man, his mind's been blown. He can't even believe what he's seen. And then the hobo will begin a path of terror, man. He will just start going after these people, man, and bringing justice. Now, at first, man, the regular people of this community, they start to gravitate to him. This idea that somebody is actually, sticking up for them. And this begins the Great War between the Drake, the crime lord, the police department, that's bad, and everything turning in against a hobo, even to the point of just committing mass murder, killing all hobos, just to bring him out, to get their hands on him. Slick, who is the main son of the Drake, who is going to fill his father's shoes, he is confronted with a dilemma himself. He has got to step up his game and do something that will convince his father he has earned the right to step into his shoes one day. And unfortunately, in order to send a message to everyone and Hobo, him and his brother, man, it is just an absolutely terrible, terrible scene. But it works to great effect. They'll go onto a school bus full of kids with a flamethrower, and enough said. And yes, right to the point, man. But enough is suggestion, enough is shown. It churns your stomach, and at point you don't know how much to root for the hobo, although you're rooting for him. But what you're rooting for mostly is that he will gain what he wants more than anything, and that is peace and an opportunity to make something more out of his life. But I think what he doesn't realize, at least initially, and I think he will come to terms with it, is his purpose is to turn this community around. Now, it's funny, when we get towards the end of this movie, man, when we head towards the final climax, it sort of just trips, man, into this weird, supernatural, weird place where the Drake has no choice but to call upon the plague, a couple demons in old battle armor that go out. And let me tell you, when they go out on their rampage, man, it is something, man. I'm just telling you, this movie, almost all practical effects. The color is saturated to kind of give it that old, grindhouse feel. We're not looking at old grainy, like stock film or something. We are looking at a good picture, but it is overly saturated for that effect. And it's weird at the beginning, but your eyes adjust and you get used to it, and it works, man. It works. It is said, well, there's this one monologue that Rutger Hauer gives him that is not that far below the one he gives in Blade Runner. And this he gives to a room full of infants in a hospital. And basically telling him of the world that they are waking up into and will be a part of. And they're going to have choices to make. And I'm telling you, it is one of the great monologues I have heard in a long time. And this is good. Rutger Hauer, man, and there's this idea, the filmmakers made mention that there's this idea about really what this is the hobo is a bear in a zoo. And as Hobo says in the film, you can't keep a bear in the zoo, man. A bear is wild. And when he gets a taste of human flesh, man, he will not stop. And man, this movie, I'm telling you, this movie is, I can't believe it sat on my shelf as long as it did without me actually watching it. And it is an experience, to say the least. I was talking to my buddy Jason last night, our Tuesday reviewer, man, he completely agrees, absolutely loves this movie. Loves is a weird word to use. I think most of us cinephiles know what we mean when we say that, depending on the content of the film. But the film does go into some really, really, really hard areas. But at the same time, there's enough left to suggestion. There's enough left off screen, but there's enough shown that it does create, for the most part, it creates a real, boy, you really feel for this guy, man. The moment he snaps, it's all downhill, man. And what a ride it is. And Abby, what a character she plays, man. Just insane. Everyone, you really kind of, I mean, the guy who plays the Drake, his kids, they all bring it to the level that they're expected to bring. But Rutger, man, this is his movie, man. He really does bring it. And so, man, if you're a Grindhouse fan, and you have not seen this yet, or like me, now I picked this up at Dollar Tree for $1 way back when everyone's posting their crazy vids about spending $100 in dollar. I can't tell you the last time I found a good movie. Well, actually, I did pick one up the other day, but a kid in there was telling me that they just don't do horror movies anymore. And so I think everyone's probably noticed the huge drop off in the lack of vids of people doing their Dollar Tree hauls. We haven't seen those in a long time. I don't know. It's too bad in a way. When you got people coming into their store, the hope is they'll buy other things, but I don't know. Anyways, Hobo with a shotgun, man. I'm telling you, you will not be disappointed if this is even remotely your thing and you haven't seen it yet. Pull this thing off your shelf if it's there, or find yourself a cheap copy. I think it's up on Prime. And man, I think you're in store for just a roller coaster, mind-bending, just splatter in your face. Just some, man, crazy things. Anyways, here in week 490, I bring you some of my own love for Grindhouse cinema via a love letter from back in 11. And yeah, just we appreciate each and every one of you that gets in and checks us out, and ask for the subs if you can. If you haven't, hit the like button and drop comments and suggestions of things that you would like to see on Body Bags. Anyways, always end these things off with Go Bills.